Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to a brand new um, thing with Stone Cold Hockey. We did the regular season where our Toronto Maple Leafs, I put the Leafs in play for the 64-65 season because they were three-time Stanley Cup champions, and I'm trying to make them four-time champs. Well, I know it'd be not in real life because they lost to Montreal in the semifinals. But anyway, we put up a good record of 37, 25, and 8. We were actually the highest winning team in the NHL, 16 NHL. But yet Detroit got ahead of us because they had 21 freaking ties and we had 8. Everyone, there were tons of ties. Yeah, we had the fewest, 8. We were the only team without double digit ties. So Detroit won with 85 points. We tied Montreal for second, but we won based on the fact that we scored more wins. Chicago took fourth. The Rangers and Boston were puny. Bobby Hall won the what would be called the Rocket Richard Trophy with 43 goals. Norm Ullman had 41 for second. Phil Esposito had 37 for third. Ron Ellis took fourth with 33. Assist wise, Stan Mikita crushed the assist mark, beating Pierre Pilat and Norm Ullman. Andy Bathgate took 7 for 35. Points wise, Norm Ullman put up 89 points, Dan Mikita 86, Bobby Hall 76. So Ullman won the Art Ross. Our best guy was Bathgate with 51 for 13th. Penalty minutes, Pierre Pilat won, not with John Ferguson second, Ted Lindsay third, Stan Mikita fourth, Bob Bond fifth, 168. We won the Goalie of the Year award. Sawchuk 200, 213 goals against, beating Gump Worsley and Roger Crozier for that mark. Crozier played all but one game. We put Carl Wetzel in the game. Standings wise, you see the standings and all of that, how good we were. Points percentage, goals for, we weren't that well. We put up 209, which was fourth. Chicago had the most goals scored, but the fourth best in goals against. Meanwhile, Detroit and Toronto tied for the least amount of goals, 173. Detroit was better on, at home with 21 wins. Well, Montreal had 22 home wins. We had 17 road wins. Only Montreal and Chicago had 13. Detroit had 11. Detroit did not really have much luck on the road. You look at the bracket, you look at the playoffs, we got to play Detroit, Montreal, and Toronto, Chicago. Teams, see all the Boston's top point scorer was Johnny Busick. Eddie Johnson, 14, 23, and 6. Jack Norris, 1, 20, and 6. Awful. Chicago, Glenn Hall, 18, 12, and 9. Desjordy, 14, 13, and 4. So they kind of split down the pike. Stan Mikita, 86 points. Bobby Hall, second. Phil Esposito, third. Next up was Detroit. Roger Crozier, 32, 16, and 21. Wetzel played one game, lost to us 4-3, but at least he played. Norm Allman, 89 points. Gordie Howe, 70. Delvecchio, 59. Montreal, Charlie Hodge, 24, 16, and 8. Worsley, 11, 7, 4. Provo, most points, 62. Rob Baxham, second, 57. John Ferguson, 55 for third. Rangers, points wise, Marcel Paillet, 10, 19, and 12. Well, Jacques Plante was 5, 14, and 10. Not good for a legendary goalie like him. Roger Bear, 58 points to lead. Phil Goy at second. Sean Rattel, third. And the Leafs, us 22 to 12 and 3 for Sarchuk, 15, 13, and 8, 5 for Bauer. Babke, 51 points. Mahovlich, 50. So is Keon. Ron Ellis, Red Kelly, Jordan Armstrong, Bob Pulvert, Carl Brewer. All the way down. Britt Selby with 2 points. Highlights: our best win was 8-2 against the Rangers. Our worst was 4-0 loss from the Rangers. 12 hat tricks the whole time. We had 2, Ron Ellis and Red Kelly with hat tricks. We were victimized 3 times by hat tricks. Ironically enough, Roger Bear and Camille the Eel Henry's hat tricks happened in a Leafs win. Anyway, the most memorable game. We had the most memorable game, October 18th. In our third game, we won 6-5 after being down 5-1 to those pesky Rangers. We scored 5 straight goals. Keon, Pulford, Ellis, Pappin, and Ellis. Chicago Rangers, January 16th. The second star Rangers were up 2-0. They weren't doing that well. Chicago, not so. Montreal, Detroit. When Montreal won 4-3 February 7th, being down 2-6. And in Toronto, Montreal, our second best moment was when March the 4th when we were up 2-0, and we choked it. You see, that's what happens. All right, now let's go to the playoffs. Detroit, Montreal. Obviously, we have to simulate. Game one saw Detroit win in overtime. Wetzel was in net against Worsley. They put Carl Wetzel in the net. Wow. Montreal goes by Yvonne Cornouaille, Jean Beliveau, and then Jean Beliveau. Detroit goes by Norm Ullman, Floyd Smith, Ted Lindsay, and then at 57 seconds, Ron Murphy from Del Vecchio scores to make it 4-3. I do Ron. I do Ron. Anyway, we play Toronto, and we start Sawchuck versus Glenn Hall. The way nature tended to be. Two legendary goalies of the 1950s and teammates, actually. Glenn Hall was the backup in Detroit to Terry Sawchuck for a while. Anyway, our Leafs lineup, Sawchuck number one. Johnny Bauer will always be number one in Leaf hearts, but Sawchuck was the playoff goalie. We won it, in a sense. The big M, Frank Mahovlich. Ron Ellis, our big goal scorer, number 6 in your programs. Mahovlich, number 27 in your program. Dave Keon, number 14. The only Leaf to win the Conn Smythe Trophy in 1967 in real life. Bob Pulford, future Chicago GM icon. Red Kelly, 8 Stanley Cups, the most by a player not affiliated with the Montreal Canadiens in history. Eddie Bafke, a New York Rangers darling, but then they traded him to the Leafs in 1964. Ron Stewart, who went on to be a Ranger later on and be teammates with Terry Sawchuck in New York, where things went horribly wrong. George Armstrong, the chief, the captain. Tim Horton, known for his bear hugs and bear claws, donuts, of course. Jim Pappin, who would be a Chicago Darling 6 years later in 1971 on their run to the Cup final. Don McKinney, who also went into trial with Backgate. Kent Douglas, a good defenseman who would better, with the Golden Seals. Pete Stankowski, the Polish Rifles icon. Eddie the Entertainer Shack, here comes Shack. Carl Brewer, good defenseman when he has to be. Alan Stanley, a veteran. Dickie Moore, the former Habs icon. Fred Selby, the future Calder Trophy winner in 1966 for the Leafs. Billy Harris, who would do better later on with the Islanders. Bob Bond, who was the guy who won the Leafs the Cup in a sense in Game 6 of the 64 final with that overtime goal, the forced Game 7 back at Maple Gardens, which the Leafs won 4-0. Chicago, Glenn Hall, Mr. Goalie, and Dennis DeShorty, a good reliable backup. Bobby Hall, the Golden Jets. Stan Mikita, known for his scoring, and before 1967, his penalty minutes total, which was taken out of context, taken out of things when his 2-year-old daughter Meg wondered why Daddy was in the penalty box so many times, and Mikita chose to clean up his act. Kenny Warham, a decent player. Phil Esposito, yes, he was a Blackhawk before he was a Bruin. That was the end of the 67 season when he was traded to Boston. They called Espo lazy, and I think he was right. Chico Mackey, Chico Time. Pierre Pilote, iconic Blackhawk defenseman. Eric Nestorenko, decent Blackhawk. Doug Bones, who played till he was like 42. Bill Hay. Dennis Hall, Bobby's brother. John Pye McKenzie, future Bruin. Fred Stanfield, future Bruin. And no, he was not a member, and no, he was not a party leader in Canada federally. That's Robert Stanfield. I think they were brothers. Camille Leo Henry, after the Rangers traded him to the Blackhawks, is on this roster. Matt Ravlich, Al McNeil, former defenseman and coach of the 1971 Habs, RIP. Doug Jarrett, Moose Vasco, another veteran. Wayne Hillman, and Ken Hodge Sr. Here we go. Game one. Midway through. Catch for Chicago Skiers. Stan Mikita's Donuts. Is first from Bobby Hall. Who knew Bobby Hall could pass the puck? Another 6 minutes. Double hit. Another 6 minutes. There's a chance for Mahovlich. Saved by Hall. The Leafs are down 1-0 to the Hawks. Mikita from Hall. Usually it's the other way around. 2 minutes later. Action for the Leafs. Armstrong? No. Short time later. Chicago Skier. Matt Ravlich. Not Radich, Ravlich. He scores from Mikita and Stanfield to make it 2-0. Ravlich, Radich, what do you expect? I'm a Degrassi guy. Aggression. And the Chief goes off for 2. No chance for Mac. No chance for the Hawks. Pop, power play goal. The Golden Jet. Boo, chakalaka. He scores from Makita and Pilat, making it 3-0. We're in trouble. 2 minutes later. Leaves Armstrong? No. Leaves Action Mahavlich? No. 3 minutes later. That one in that. Nice wraparound. Keon and Red Kelly makes it 3-1 for the Hawks. Last moments of the period. Poker trying to score again? No. Not. He had a slot chance. The Blackhawks are up 3-1. Goals by Ravlich and Hall in the second. Pulford for Toronto. 3 minutes later. The forgotten one. From 10 Douglas. Wow. First point shot. 4 minutes later. Right? Double hit. Soon. Action. Goal from Mahavlich and Ronnie Stewart. We're tied at 3. What is going on? 4 minutes later. Double hit. 3 minutes later. Got it. The Canucks for the Leafs. Ellis saved by Hall. Ron Ellis was something to score. He was fourth in goal scoring. Comeback! Throw up the bathwater! It's Andy Batley. What a shot! How do you do, man? How do you freaking do? Empty net. A split. There's got to be something there. There's nothing there. As strange as it sounds, the Chicago Blackhawks was going to silence Maple Leaf Gardens, but they fail. The Leafs win 4-3. What a comeback with 3 in the third. I don't believe it, but it's true. Armstrong, the only penalty was George Armstrong. And Blackhawks scored the power play to make it 3-0. Makita, Ravlich, and Hall made it 3-0. And then Pulford scored at 15:42. And then in the third period, McKinney from Douglas. Well, Pulford from Keon and Kelly. McKinney from Douglas. At 7:48, Keon from Mahavlich and Stewart. And then Andy Bathgate at 15:28. Strange but true. The Leafs won 3-0. Anyway, Montreal, Detroit. Game 2 saw Montreal go into Detroit. Hodge beats Crozier. Leafs, Red Wings were up 1-0 after one period on Delfacchio's goal. And then they scored 4 in the third. Ferguson, Provo, Backstrom, and then Jean Beliveau. 2 shorthanded goals. Man, it's crazy. It was 2-1 with the chance, but Backstrom and Beliveau scored shorthanded. So it's 1-1. Now we go to game 2. And it would be Suchak and Hall as per usual. Early on. That's the chance. Hall. Stop by Suchak. Bobby Hall. It's like, what the hell? 6 minutes later, Skior. Pie in the sky, McKenzie. He scores his first from Espo and Makita. Who knew Espo could pass the puck? 1-0 Hawks. Penalty on Pilat, and that's the first Hawks penalty. Leafs on the power play. Mahavlich. Oh, stop by Mr. Goalie. And now counterattack. Score! Shorthander. Makita. Stan Makita's Donuts. From Kenny Warham. It's 2-0 Hawks. 3 minutes later. Nestorenko. No. 2 minutes. Chance for Moans? No. A chance for Moans. Oh, what a stop by Suchak. But Moans was trying to make it 3-0 and put Suchak on ice. Again. Battle. Aggression? Alan Stanley, 2 minutes. So Alan Stanley goes to the box. Hawks. Camillo. Vasco. Hit hard. So now they're at 8 defense. Can the Leafs take advantage? Nestorenko, no. There's a fight. There's a fight. Espo and Stewart are going to the box, both with decent offensive numbers. So yeah, Espo's gone. That actually helps us out a little bit. They're both in the box, but the Hawks still up 2-0 after 2. They're trying everything they can. It's yours! In the track, here comes Shaq. Scoring on you right now. Eddie, Eddie, Shaq. Eddie, Eddie, Shaq. Eddie, Shaq. From Bathgate and Kelly makes it 2-1. 3 minutes later. There's a chance for stopped by Hockey. Mr. Hockey. 6 minutes later, aggression. At the major on Chicago, Espo will be off for 5 minutes. The Leafs can can score any time during the 5 minutes. But it's not happening. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. And the Hawks win the game 2-1. The Hawks came up to a 2-0 lead and they basically tightened up without giving the Leafs any fodder. Shaq scored, but Toronto loses 2-1. So at least Sawchuk kind of did better. He hasn't given up a goal in the third period, but yeah, Chicago only wins 2-1. McKenzie scored, Makita scored, and Shaq scored. Yeah, Espo was in the box for 5 minutes and we couldn't take advantage of it. Why the fuck? Meanwhile, Detroit Montreal game 3 sees Montreal win 4-3 as Hodge beats Crozier. Detroit goes by Murphy, Bergman, and Floyd Smith. Montreal goes by Ferguson, Larose, Cornway, and Cornway again. Montreal's keeping it real. Game 3 at Chicago Stadium sees no change in anything. 2 minutes later. Hawks Michiko? No. 3 minutes later. Leaves Armstrong? No. 5 minutes later. Delivers a hit? No problem. 5 minutes. Hey! It's Espo for 2. Can we take advantage? Nope. And worse than all, it's just a short-hander. Sam Makita, his first in Chico match for 3 straight games. It's 1-0. Pulford cannot do it. And we're down 1-0 after 1. So, yeah, we haven't scored any goals in the first period this series. Chicago Jets moon stopped by Sawchuk. 5 minutes later. A chance for the Eddie shot for Espo? No. Much later. Toronto loves a hit, and then unfortunately, though, Makita gets agitated and takes a 2 in the box. There's a chance. Pulver! Oh, stop. Trotsky, pop power play goal. The big. He remembers he can score a goal from Kelly and Douglas. Makes it 1-1. So Toronto taking it close on Chicago. 1-1 after 2. Mahovlich with that goal. 4 minutes later. Leafchuk he scored the goal. I do Ron. I do Ron. Yeah, his name ain't Jill. Yeah, the Leafs are up 2-1. Yeah, Mahovlich got the assist. I do Ron. I do Ron. 2-1. A couple minutes later. Bathgate? No. The laser beam from the Golden Jack is second. Chico with the assist. 4 minutes later, a battle of the match. Against scores! First match, Dorenko. First match, the goal Echo with the assist 3-2 Hockeys. 5 minutes later. We got the chance. Score! It's time for Tim's. Tim Horton for the point from Pulford. We are tied at 3. Couple minutes later. And guess what? It's a tie game, and unlike the regular season, we go to overtime. A 3-3 tie, we are at overtime. In the regular season, they didn't have overtime until 1983, which is pathetic. Now we have to hope for the best. Overtime heroics, Teddy Boyle, means the fucking cat from Makita and Basco. And we just cannot believe it. We can't believe it, but yeah, the Hawks win in overtime. Hall beats Sawchuk. Our goals, Mahovlich, Ellis, and Horton. Makita, Hall, Nesterenko, and Warren for the Hockeys. We're in trouble. Game 4, Montreal, Detroit. And Montreal now is 1 win away. They win 5-2. Hodge beats Crozier. Detroit goes by Paul Henderson, yes, that one, and Normie Allman. Montreal goes by Beliveau, Vallon, Provo, Ferguson, and Provo. Can't believe Sean Ferguson has 3 goals in the playoffs. That just doesn't seem right. But yeah, Montreal's up 3-1. Guess Detroit was more of a ties mentality. I don't know. Anyway, Toronto is down 2-1 to Chicago, and it is going to be Sawchuk versus Hull again. Early on. There's the catch. Keelan, no, stuff by Hull. Aggression. Out, and Hall has to be replaced by Deschurity. Brewer in the box for 2. Well, we killed the zone. 5 minutes later. To the top, make the goal. Pulford, no, stuff by Deschurity. At least they're going to get penalized badly for 2 minutes, but it's no score 3-1. Deschurity will stay in the net, I think. Good! Power goal! Then the Steelers won that. One straight game from the ball. He's got 4 goals, but all with 1 goal offense. Warren with the assist. Warren the hero in game 3. 2 minutes later, the Leafs. A chance by Keelan. Aye. Much later. Leafs scores. There's Davey Keelan. Mr. Clean. From McKenney makes it 1-1. There's a fight between Espo and Stewart. For the second time in 4 games, they will fight each other. We actually went out in the fight. Chetskior! Mahovlich, the Big M, scores his second from Bobby Bond, and the Leafs are up 2-1, and that's going to be that they're going to go back to Hall. They're like, why not? High in the sky, McKenzie puts it in on Bobby Hall. It's 2-2. To the box. 2-2 after 2. Stamkowski goes to the box, so we really don't like that. Makita and McKenzie for Chicago. Keon and Mahovlich for Toronto. All goals except for Keon scored with someone with the letter M. Hawks are up 3-2 after that one. Hawks in the box. It's Makita. Leaves a chance. Horton, no. Horton. Started running out of time. And McKenzie, they'll stop. No Kelly. Empty net. We're in trouble. Do something. Nothing. Nothing happens. And the Hawks are now up 3-1. We can't believe it. We lose 3-2 to the Hawks. Another brutal loss. Hall, 12 seconds into the 3rd period. Thanks a lot, Stankowski. Your stupid penalty cost us. Keon and Mahalish for us. Makita, McKenzie, and Hall for Chicago. We're in deep shit. We're down 3-1. Game 5 sees the Habs win 4-2 as the Red Wings have been demoralized. Montreal goals by Backstrom, Henri Richard, Provo, and Belleville. Allman and Gordie Howe for Detroit, but that's not enough. Montreal gagne 4-2. Detroit. I guess they're not. Guess they're not really adding on the points. I don't know why. Oh, playoff stats. There we go. Okay, there we go. Playoff stats. Highlight it. So Crozier 0-4. Wetzel. They should have kept Wetzel in the net. But yeah, Delvecchio with 4 points. Ullman with 3. Gordie Howe with 3. Floyd Smith with 3. But Montreal did much better. No. Glenn Borsley started 1 game and lost. And then they went with Charlie Hodge, who has been on fire. Jacques Laperriere with 8 points. All assists. Rob Backstrom, 7 points. John Ferguson, the policeman, 7 points. Well, at least he would do better than his bastard son, that's for sure. So now we're going to play Game 5 back in Toronto, and Terry Suchak is in net. She's already in net for Chicago. That's a surprise. But we might as well ride Suchak. 5 minutes later. Penalty off the bat. Chico time. Chico. Go! Come Where did he come from? Good Selby scores in tiebreak from Armstrong and Keon. They put him in that? Well, why not? 3 minutes later. Billy Turris. George Armstrong makes it 2-0 Leafs. We're getting the youngsters in there. Well, we have nothing to lose. 5 minutes later. Parker sent Bobby Hall. Stopped by Sajak. 5 minutes later. Aggression. Chance for Pila. It's stopped by Sajak. No chance for Esquia. No, stopped by. Well, we're up 2-0. I think they're basically saying that Glenn Hall got a little rattled there. Oh yeah, that's right. I think he got rattled in game 4. 5 minutes later. Chance for Stewart. Oh, stop. 4 minutes later. Red Kelly. I'll probably go back to 4 minutes later. Chance scores. He's got his pilot wings. Pierre Pilat from the point. From Bobby Hall makes it 3-1. And then leaves Mahavlich? No. Well, we're up 3-1 after 2, so a good chance to force game 6. Just play it up. Bobby Hall stopped by Sajak. He thought he had it. To Bobby Hall, saying, "Don't you dare!" 5 minutes later, Chetsky, Fred Stanfield. He won't stand for it. From Nesterenko and Espo makes it 3-2 Toronto. Oh boy. 4 minutes later, battle aggression. Pulford. Damn it, Pulford. Chance for Espo, stop. We did it. Whew. Well, Espo thought he was going to tie the game, but not too much. Regardless of that, Toronto up 3-2. They win the game. What a job. Selby, Frank, and Davey Keon. Yep, Chicago scored twice. Pilot and Stanfield. Well, good news. We held Stan Mikita without a goal. Our point. Lucky us. Well, we got a game 6 coming up. And it will be Sawchuck versus New York Jordy. I'm actually surprised they don't put, who in that. Can't score. Throw out the bathwater. Bathgate, his second from Red Kelly, who's giving us those passes. It's 1-0. Anyway, 4-2. We thought we could destroy him forever, but Sam his 5th from Pilot and Espo. 1-1. Battle. Oh boy. Ty McKenzie and Moose Vasco can't do anything about it. Skiers! Dickie Moore, he scores a goal. Dickie Moore's first from Brewer and Braun. Makes it 2-1. Who knew he was playing? Much later, Agitator, Chicago retaliates, and Pilat goes to the boots. Chance to score? Yes, we do. Score! Pop power play goal. He pulled it in the net. That's Pulford for you. His second. It's 3-1. And we are looking pretty good against you, Shorty. The Shorty is probably like, what the hell am I doing wrong? They should put Glenn Hall back in net. They probably will. 3 minutes later, Blackhawks. Espo, no. 2 minutes later, a battle. On the play, and it will be Kent Douglas for 2. Power play, no shot by Ty McKenzie. As for the Hawks, Pilot, stopped by Sarchuk. Pilot had it. 4 minutes later. Hawks, Nesterenko, no. 3 minutes later. Because for Skiers, Davey Keon puts it in. It's 4-1. His 4th from Mahavlich. Looking good. 4 minutes later. Stewart, no. In the third snap. Masterenko, his second from Mosquito and Mosquito. Two. And Chicago is going to definitely go for Glenn Hall. Why not? They're down 4-2. Battle aggression. And Cheslev scores. It doesn't matter who's in the net. Davey Keon puts in his second of the night from Mahovlich, and Tim Horton finally putting up an assist. 5-2. 2 minutes later. Hawks. Nestorenko stopped by such a battle. Attention. Cyclists. They score! Power goal! Pilot wins. Scott, his second. Bill 5-3. This is a high-scoring game. Trying to kill his next coming to that? Yes, sir. Skiers. Molson's a brewery, and so is Carl Brewer. His first from Pulver makes it 6-3. It looks good. No chance. Keon trying for the hat trick? No. And we force Game 7 a 6-3 win. We're going home. We're going home. We're going home. Tell the world we're going home. Glenn Hall's human after all. We scored twice right on him. And now we got a Game 7. Thanks to our motley crew. We're coming home. We're coming home. We're gotta win it on home. Bathgate scored more in Pulford, and then Keon in the second. Keon and Brewer in the third. Chicago goals by Makita, Nestorenko, and Pilat. So, wow. 6-3. So, what else is new? Anyway, one more game. So, situation is this. If we win, we host the Stanley Cup Finals. We have home ice. If we lose, Montreal has home ice against Chicago. Well, it would be the 1965 Finals in real life, obviously. We don't want that to happen. And Johnny Bauer is the surprise Game 7 starter against Glenn Hall. I think that we are probably just trying to go with the power. The guy who got us those 3 Stanley Cups, Johnny Bauer. Chicago Glenn Hall. Let's see what happens. Early on. Chicago has a chance. Hall? No. Battle at second from Afghan and Armstrong. There's the veteran presence. We did it. Dickie Moore. 2 minutes later. That's it. And a chance for the Hawks. Warab. Oh, pinged off the post. Early on. Aggression. On Timmy Horton. Espo can't do it. Jarrett can't do it. 2 minutes later. A chance for the Blackhawks. Score! Denny Hall. Booyah. He scores his first from Pilot. And there's Dennis Hall. If Bobby can't score, he can score. Booey. 6 minutes later. Ouch. Gets clobbered. Hawks again. Espo, no. That's not happening. And the Leafs are tied with the Hawks 1-1 through 1. Hall for Chicago. Not that Hall. Dennis Hall. And not that Moore for Toronto. It's Dickie Moore. Although I would 6 minutes later. That's for the box. Bobby Hall. Flapper stop by Bauer. Veteran presence. 4 minutes later. Pulford. Oh. 5 minutes later. Bill Hay. No. Action by Warham. No. Battle on Chicago. Penalty on Makita. This could be a chance. Oh. Ron Ellis had a shot to make it 2-1, but no. Makita's still in the box. Tapke. No. Got it. Will deliver a hit. 5 minutes later. Bill Hay, no. Chance for Espo. 2 minutes later. Chance for the Leafs. Ellis. Oh, man, I thought he had it. This is getting intense. Pulford, no. And guess what? After 60 minutes, it's 1-1. And the most powerful words of the English language. Game 7 overtime. 1-1 tie. Remember, we're 0-1 in overtime. Warren fucked us up in game 3. Early on. Got crunked. 6 minutes later, a battle. Struggles on the penalty. Ravlich. Oh boy. Overtime. Yum. He scores at 7:02 of overtime from Eddie Bathgate. The Leafs win the series and the game on prolongation. And it's Toronto Montreal just as nature intended for the 1965 championship. A Game 7 overtime victory for the Leafs. Red Kelly, with all those assists, hey, you know what? Take the puck. Score, young man. Score. And he does. The Leafs win the game 2-1 in overtime. The Hawks can't believe it. They were 3-1 up, and the Leafs just pulled through and stole it. Johnny Bauer, you are amazing. Dickie Moore and Red Kelly for Toronto. Dennis Hall for Chicago. We shut down Makita. We shut down Bobby Hall. We shut down the big boys. We shut down Espo in Game 7. Unreal. We did it. We go to the finals. Oh, sorry. Well, so Montreal, Charlie Hart. If you look at Chicago, the playoff stats. Glenn Hall 3-2. Jordy 0-2. No. Hall did he? Lost twice. Makita with 10 points, 5 goals, 5 assists. Bobby Hall with 6 points, Pilat with 5. But when it counts the most, Makita and Hall and Pilat did not do anything in Game 7. We held them in check. And Toronto, Sawchuk 3-3, Bauer 1-0. Bauer with 1 goal given up in so many minutes. Mahavlich and Keon both with 7 points. Red Kelly with 6. Yeah, Kelly had 5 assists. But he scores when he needed to. Keon, 5 goals, 2 assists. Mahavlich, 3 goals, 4 assists. So Mahavlich and Keon with 7 points. Kelly with 6. Packey, 5. Pulford, 4. Armstrong, 3. Horton, McKinney, Douglas, Brewer, Dickie Moore, and Bond with 2. Ellis, Stewart, Shack, Selby, and Harris with 1 point each. So we are in the Stanley Cup Finals. As of right now, Makita, well, Dave Keon has scored the most goals. Makita has had 5, but he's out. Belleville's still in, and so is Keon. We're still in. Assist wise, Chocolate Perrier with 8 assists. He's in the final. Makita, Backstrom, Russo, and Kelly. Points wise, Makita with 10 points, but he's out. Will Perrier's got 8. Backstrom, Ferguson, Mahavlich, and Keon all with 7 points. We're still in. Johnny Bauer kind of was the best. Majority with a 4-4-5 goals against Crozier. What the hell happened? Roger Crozier was just fucking lights out, and all of a freaking sudden, he wasn't. Charlie Hodge has been on fire. They're probably going to put him in the nets. And Bauer, we put him for Game 7. I know Sawchuk did okay with a 2-8-1, but Johnny Bauer proved why he's a legend. And besides, the Leafs won 3 straight Stanley Cups with him in the net. So, anyway, yeah. So, next time we've got ourselves the championship final. Anyway, I've jumped up and adieu.